Bai has always been a reliable champion. It was the one I learned how to jungle with, so she has a special place in my heart. I can tell you she has been a good pick in every patch ever since. But in Season 14, things got even better. She got new items that fit perfectly in that Bruiser Slash, delete you like an assassin with one combo type of role that only a few can pull off. Despite being there for the longest time, not that many people know how deadly Vi can be, which can also play in your favor. With an outstanding kit of abilities, cool freaking looking skins, and a TV show of her own, be ready to rock the jungle with Vi. And if that's what you're looking for, this is what you should do. The first big plus Vi has is how good her first clear is. As much as I like to use non-meta champions, I have to admit your first clear can be a big influence on the rest of the match. So having a champion with the skill to finish it in perfect time and health feels amazing. Vi's jungle clear is as clean as my plate after eating tacos. I leave those plates without a single trace, man. You won't find any tortilla. So you start in whatever side your bot lane is and clear the entire jungle from there. Remember that Vi's passive gives you a shield when you hit it with an ability, so make sure you save one for when the passive is off cooldown. The first ability to level up is your W. That will make you deal more damage every 3 hits. You then level up E and finally Q. From now on, make sure to level up your Q whenever you can, followed by your E and finally your W. As you can see, farming with Vi is pretty easy and that makes her perfect to steal enemy jungle too. She's also an amazing duelist, so even if you find the enemy jungler there, you have a good chance of winning that duel anyway. And that's exactly why you need to use these runes. They will make you deal a lot of damage quick, and paired with the right items, your enemies won't have a moment to react, but more on the items later. First, Vi ganks are something else. You have your Q. It's not always as easy to start with this ability, something a lot of people already know to avoid, but even if you miss it, it'll help you close gaps. The idea is to hit your Q at maximum range, do a basic attack, use your E, another basic attack, and E once more. Most of the time, your enemies are going to be low on health and you just have to keep basic attacking them to finish them off. Now, if they are naive enough to flash away thinking they're gonna be able to escape your wrath, just use your ult. You can also use your ultimate to chain more CC in the middle of the combo I just mentioned. Sometimes it may even be necessary. It depends on what champion are you fighting and how strong they are. For example, if you're fighting the Fed champion of the enemy team that you don't want to give any room for reaction. A quick tip is that you can flash and instantly Q to reach enemies at a longer distance and catch them by surprise. People don't always expect this, I don't know why. I mean, at this point they definitely should, but it works most of the time. Another important thing to have in mind is that Vi's ult makes you unstoppable while charging towards the enemy. You can use this to your advantage for when you know they will try to CC you in any way. The main item that is gonna make all of this work is the new Sundred Sky. What is beautiful about this weapon is that your first hit will always crit, giving you that burst damage that you need to finish enemies off with one combo. It will also heal you on your first hit on every enemy champion you fight, so it can come in clutch when fighting more than one enemy at the same time. And the item also gives you health and ability haste, both of them amazing on Vi. The second item I love on Vi is Experimental Hexblade. It gives you attack damage, attack speed that is really important too, and even more health. But what's great about this item is its unique ability. First, it gives you ultimate ability haste. It will help you have your ult more often, which really helps you when ganking or when fighting, like I said before. Like, it's something you always want to have. But the most important part is that with this item, whenever you use your ultimate, you will get a boost of attack speed and movement speed for 8 seconds, which means you will be able to proc your double use passive, the 3 hits one, more often, dealing more damage and making you the best duelist of the match. Honestly, this item is pretty interesting and freaking amazing. I still understand why I don't see that many people using it. Not every champion can pull it off, but I can assure you it's a perfect fit for Vi. The rest of the build is situational, but an average match will end up looking like this. You need a little bit of armor and magic resistance to be able to survive the enemy attacks. You often gonna find yourself trying to go in the middle of the fight, so all of that is gonna come in handy. Now, team fighting with Vi can be tricky. She is very good against single targets, but she will not excel at fighting multiple enemies at the same time. So your best bet is to jump directly for the backline, flash if necessary, do your combo and focus on taking the most annoying enemy champion of the match first. Just know that after using your Q, it will be difficult to get out of the fight. Make sure your team knows you are going in by pinging or wait for them to start the fight if necessary. Also, catching the enemy distracted is ideal so they have less chances of noticing you. Or depending on the match, you can also stay in your own backline to protect your teammates from annoying assassins if you know one of them is carrying you. And that's the beauty of Vi. Even if you do freaking horrible during the match, you still have great tools to be of help. You can use your Q and R to CC any enemy that may feel sassy enough to try and kill your damage dealers. And as a one last thing, remember that your ult knocks up every enemy you hit while traveling to your objective. Use that to your advantage too. Something that I always like having in my junglers is is the ability to push lanes properly. And of course, Vi is no exception. She can farm and take down turrets like the best of them, which in low elo is really important, especially since you can use your E to hit turrets and objectives. People often forget that the way you win the game is by focusing on objectives and not kills. But when they all change into Call of Duty mode, it's up to you to push and destroy the enemy base. She's also really good at killing the new boy grubs, which I feel is really important in this patch. It definitely gives you an advantage on the Rift. What's great about Vi is that she can fulfill different roles. She can be an assassin or a tank depending on what you build on her, and she is good at everything. Although I honestly believe that the bruiser/assassin role that I just showed you is what she is the best at right now. It's the perfect combination of enough damage to delete enemies while also having enough sustain to not die as quick either. She's an amazing duelist, excels at pushing or taking down objectives, and is a valuable asset for your team even if you don't do as good. Honestly, it's difficult to think why you wouldn't pick Vi. So sell your champions, get enough money, and buy her. Hope you enjoyed punching enemies' faces on the Rift. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, it will help me a lot. Hope this helps you, and I'll see you next time.